learners in learning land. Tyler from Tenthumbsproductions. New guitar every single Monday. Hit subscribe, ring the bell if you like this kind of content. Today we're doing a beginner fingerstyle song, Love Me Tender, made famous by Elvis Presley. Printable tabs by becoming a Patreon. You'll see links in the notes as well as the description with some extra information. A link to the specific tab pinned in the first comment of the comment section. Email in the description as well if you want some one-on-one lessons. All right, grab your guitar, brain, attention span, follow me on in, and let's get this fingerstyle party started. Okay, first 4 measures are up. Let's go ahead and break them down. I like to have my hand a lot closer to my bridge, but so you can see everything that's going on, I'm going to play with it a little higher here. You do get a better sound if you're playing this tune down there, just so you know, okay? So our first measure is a C chord. We get it up, and we're going to use our thumb to play our bass note, which is the 3rd fret of the A string, nice C note. Our index finger is going to play the open G string. Second beat, your thumb drops down, grabs that 2nd fret right there of the A string, while your middle finger plays the 1st fret of the B string. So far, you haven't had to move anything with your left hand. Everything is kosher, just good old C. On the 3rd beat, this ring finger drops down to the 3rd fret of the E for the bass. Here, you need to lift your index finger up. So your ring finger is going to play, or your middle finger plays the melody again, but it plays the open B. And then you return your index finger down to the 1st fret, and you repeat exactly what you did on the 2nd fret, bass and all, right? So you drop all the way down with your thumb back to the D string. So that first measure is... Okay, so the first measure, nice and slow. We make a D chord, and I'm still using my middle finger to play the B. Come down, and this one, our D is just gonna hang out, or our bass is just gonna hang out on that D string. Pretty easy. Middle finger B string, then you're gonna pinch both the bass with your thumb on the D and your index on the G string. Middle finger back to the B, and then you strum a D with your index finger because we have no melody there. So for the second measure you would get, you put these two together, we get now when the second measure there is actually a D7 if you're playing and singing it, but we have this melodies, the D note here, so we can't really play the D7 unless we use our pinky. And you could do that and then strum through the D7 if you wanted to. After that, we go to this G7, and we're going to use our index finger instead of like you would for the classic shape with your index finger on the 1st fret of the E. You're going to move it up to the 1st fret of the B. Then you'll remove it and play open G, open B. Middle finger is going to come down and play the 2nd fret of the G string, and you'll use your index finger on it. And then open G, open B. Right from there, you're going to go back to the C, and you're going to pinch the bass and the 1st fret of the B. So you get... Oops, I accidentally played. You go. Just like that. Now this last measure here has no melody. So I go and I drop down, play the bass, use my index finger for the open G, ring finger come down, 3rd fret of the E on the 3rd beat, open G, and then down to the 2nd fret again. So I just go. Now because it's not melody, but I am playing some treble in there, I play it a little bit softer so it doesn't come as forward as much. I want to dampen it a little bit so your ear doesn't confuse it with the melody. You could just go and play just the bass. Okay, so these 4 measures nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I know I was a little out of tune earlier, just a little flat. I got some new strings. Sorry about that. I'm going to be tuning throughout this lesson. I apologize in advance for that. Okay, so the next 4 measures are up and they sound like this. What do you know? They are exactly the same as the first 4 measures. Nothing new there, all right? So that means these are probably the most important 4 measures of the song because you're going to see them frequently. Take your time with them. All right, the next 4, though, there is some change. So let's bring those up. We start off with our C, and we're going to go ahead and pinch. This time I'm using these 2 fingers, middle finger on the E string, index on the B. The melody is just the open E, but that B gives it a nice little support in the harmony. On the 2, my thumb drops down, plays the 2nd fret of the D string, and my middle finger the open E. 1, 2. Immediately after that, I'm going to make an E7, even though I'm really only playing the open strings. I just do it out of habit because it's easier for me to kind of play with it instead of just letting my hand waffle around. I play an E7 and I play low E and then the open E and the B. Again, normally my hand's down here and it gives a nice little chunkier sound with the bass, but I want you to be able to see my right hand. Then after that, thumb drops down and it plays the open D string and the open E. We go to an A minor, same kind of melody, same action. Essentially moving exactly the same as we did on the C, but we have an A in the bass, and then we move back to the C. But on this one, the melody will ring out for a half beat, so you're going to go 3, 4, and the bass moves, but the melody rings out. So just those 2 measures. F major 7, strum through with your thumb, all 4 strings, 3, 2, 1, 0. Pinky plays the 3rd fret of the B. Then you play this F minor. You're only going to strum 3 strings. You're going to strum the G, the D, G, and B strings, 3, 1, 1. Use your thumb as like this, use this each thing as like a net to catch it. You don't want to play it because the melody is this C note. So our thumb is catching it there, and then our pinky plays the 3rd fret again. Technique-wise, this is the most unique measure in the piece. And back to the C. And we see the same kind of measure that we've seen earlier, but this time we have a little extra harmony with the 1st fret of the E. So these 4 measures, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now the next 4 measures, you're only going to play this one time. And then this is where the alternate ending comes in. You'll play those first 3, you'll play these 4, you'll repeat the first 3, and then you'll play an alternate ending. So these are pretty unique. You're only going to play these one time. We start off C. Then we make this E, A7, flat 13. The flat 13 is that F note. But you're just actually going to fret the 1st fret of the E and the 2nd fret of the B. Then you'll lift your index finger and play the same 3 notes. And that's that. Well, that would be the D we've seen, the G we've seen. So it's really just that first measure we haven't seen. Getting back to the importance of really hammering down those first 4 measures, because here they are again. All right, so then you play through that, you circle back to the beginning, you play through the first 3 again, and now you come to the ending, which looks like this. Okay, so our last 4 measures look familiar. They should, because we've seen them a couple times, but that very last measure is different. So the first 3 is all the same, but when we get to that last one, we're going to strum a C with our thumb. But again, we're not playing this E string, because the highest note we want to hear is this C. That way your ear hears the C note and resolves the song. So the last 4 measures are boom, there you have it. So let's go ahead and play through the whole thing from the top together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it, folks. You made it this far. That means you got your fingerstyle going. You got a little bit of fingerstyle swagger. And that's a really good thing. This song is a great place to get started. It's essentially just a 16-bar loop with a lot of repetition in that, you know, with the exception of that last little piece that we looked at. So you really only need to memorize 20 measures, 20 bars of music. But there is a lot of repetition, all quarter notes, nothing fancy, a lot of chord tones. So a great place for you to get started on your fingerstyle guitar journey. Make sure you check out that fingerstyle playlist as well too, because we're going to continue to develop your skills in this style of guitar. I'm having a lot of fun playing it, and naturally, I like to teach what I like to play. All right, catch you next Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday for ukulele. Take care. Have a lovely day. Rock and roll.